All right, we're back on the Carroll-Jamieson. Got some electrical work to do today. I got to wire it. Currently mounting a plate there to hold that start-stop box in place. You got to get the motor porch installed. I got to figure out some adapters for the motor to be bolted onto the motor porch, so I can get a height adjustment right, so I can use the existing belt so I don't have to go out and purchase more. I still have to indicate the chuck in. I got a key that's missing in that gearbox. I got to put a key in there. I got to set the gibs on the saddle. I got to square up the tailstock to the chuck, but I don't have a piece of round stock to do that. I don't know if I can borrow one or make one. But anyway, that's where we're at. I want to get this done. It's getting nice outside, so I'm not going to want to be in here doing this. I got a whole nother shop down below I got to get done. The last past few weekends I've been cutting wood while the ground was froze. But anyway, here we go. It's got this plate on there, vice gripped on in place, so I had to drill new holes, and this way I could align everything all the way up. I actually have a clearance hole in this. I'm not putting threads in this, I'm putting threads down here in this. I'll take this off. We're going to countersink it for some flatheads. It's an open gearbox. I don't want to get any grit in there. That's why I got that rag stuffed in there, because I drilled those holes through. All right. Yeah, see, it saved all that. Yeah, right there too. I think we stuck that in there. All right, we got that set up. We're gonna countersink that to accept this flathead 1/4-20. Got some cutting oil on there. I like to go slow, but usually that helps with less chatter. Just check it and see where we're at. Maybe a little bit more. A little deeper. Line it back up. All right, I like that. We'll set the depth, but as you can see, this isn't a precision setup here. I got a piece of plywood under it. So. It'll get us close. Not quite. Just about. That'll work. All right, we'll get that cleaned up, get that bolted on. And then I think we can, we'll go to the motor porch. Okay, we got it all drilled and tapped. I'm not gonna put any Loctite on this. If you ever dealt with flatheads and Loctite, man, they can be a bugger to get back out. I don't know if it's just because it's tapered or there's so much, you know, surface area, but flatheads really hold. I don't need Loctite in this particular situation anyway. It just caused me grief down the road. Me or somebody else. So let's get them both started there. See the holes line up. Oh yeah, I like it. That'll work. Think about putting me a nice piece of thin wood in here, you know, for your tooling, or maybe not, because maybe you'll set an indicator there. I don't know. All right, we're gonna move on to the motor porch. All right, I got the motor porch in there. That was a pain in the butt. Got me a pry bar here to kind of manipulate it so I can reach in and start a bolt. Sad thing is, I think I'm gonna have to take this back out to drill holes in the base, unless I wanna do it by hand. This stuff was probably all laid out and drilled by hand, I would imagine, back in the day. So, all depends on the type of person who did it, laid it out, drilled it, and tapped it. Determines how things line up and go back together.
All right, I gotta get the adjustment block in there. Now this is the type of stuff I should be Loctiting. I will most likely have to take this all back apart so I can drill some holes in that plate. But if I don't have to take it back apart, I can take one bolt out at a time, Loctite it, put it back in. No big deal. I'll get the old master mechanic ratchet on this baby. This stuff was made in Taiwan. Bought it at True Value. Actually, this is part of the kit my dad bought me. But for a kid starting out, that was guaranteed too. This thing has lasted a lot longer than some of my good stuff. Spray some loogie doob on there. Maybe. Okay, we got the motor porch in there, laid out, back out. I'm going to use some existing holes here in this motor porch, with the exception of one. I don't know why they don't have a consistent pattern here, but driving me nuts. So I'm going to drill and tap 1 3/8 hole here, and then we'll put our risers on, figure out how we're going to do that, and go from there. So I got a center drill in here. I'm gonna go ahead and center drill this first. Then I'll probably run a 1/8 inch or so lead drill through. Then I'll use a 5/16 tap drill. We'll speed this up. Using small drills, it's kind of good to, you know, just poke it, come back up, allow the shavings to clean out. Cast iron isn't so bad as like just a carbon steel. You let them chips build up and you can actually break it. That's no fun. take that over to the bench and tap it. I gotta get me some tap handles. This ratchet doesn't work very good, in my opinion. It's harder to keep the tap straight because you're leveraged way out. All right, here's my risers I'm going to put on here. I'm going to bolt these to the motor porch. If I can reach in there and start a bolt. It's going to go like so. And the motor's going to sit on top of here. So I don't know if I want to drill a clearance hole and I can put a nut in there. That's going to be a pain in the butt. I'd rather tap it, but as you can see, that's really thin. 1/8 inch. So I guess if I had to, I could put cut some flat stock and just tack it in there, drill through and tap through the whole thing. Or I could weld a nut in there, I suppose, too. We'll see. In all reality, that would probably hold. But we're gonna lay these out, go from there. Some layout fluid on there. Get my scribe. My square. Right there's where I gotta be, so I'm right close to the edge. About 1.1 inches. How's that one? About the same. I gotta get a nice square someday too. Anything's nicer than what I got. I'm gonna take this over the air compressor and dry that. Okay, I gotta remember doing this backwards, so I want that hole close to there, so I gotta make sure I put it over here. Like so. Thinking that'll work. Lay out the other hole. So that'll go just like that. Punch it. Plug your ears. Gotta get some good light in here too. Can't see anything. All right, we're just gonna center drill these. It's always worse drilling through thin stuff than it is thick stuff, it seems like. So I got the end of the vise up against the post there. That way if that grabs and that kicks, that'll just, you know, sit on the post, won't fling around and hit me. I still got scars on my hip from that happening. This thing doesn't seem very sturdy, does it? I don't know if it's rocking on the floor or it's just a cheap drill press, basically. So I anticipate the next drill grabbing. I'm gonna put a nice decent sized clearance on hole in there so I make sure everything lines up. All right, so we're gonna use 3/8 bolts. So we're gonna use a 27/64 clearance drill here. let's go see how we made out. All right, I got my risers on, the old motor porch. I got the motor vice grip down to them. I got them laid out. So I got to drill these, weld me some nuts or some plates on the inside of these risers. So I got some meat there for some threads. And then we'll wire the motor up before we stick it in there so we don't have to be a contortionist or whatever to do that. So other than that, we're gonna wrap this one up. Remember to smile, lift heavy things, find something to do.